My deepest apologies for not being able to join the battle. Ventrinia was something of a hassle. He attacked me. It was only a matter of time before his greed got the better of him. The closer we got to Baal, the more obsessed he became with Tirnoch, and with harnessing Tirnoch's power, just like Gadflo did. That's why he had to be stopped, and why we need to talk about our mission. I wasn't sure I could trust you. You're not the same person you used to be. We're running out of time. I'll explain as we go. Lead on. I'm right behind you. This is no time to dawdle. Here we are, in the heart of the enemy's defenses. And this time, I trust you not to fail. Somehow Gadflo found a way to reach out to Tirnoch. Or perhaps she was able to seek out his twisted mind. She offered him power, and with it, he began the Tuatha. No wonder Gadflo thinks she's a god. Then Trinia was right. Tirnoch is no god. She has almost as much power, and is every bit as dangerous to the world as any dark god. Her powers raised Gadflo from a jester to a warlord, and in return, his army would usher in a chance for her to enter this world and consume it. You're the one who stepped forward to stop Gadflo and the source of his power, even though fate said you were doomed to fail. This time, fate cannot control you, but I expect you to succeed. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
The winter court was still as fallen snow as the jester danced and capered. Juggling knives and torches, he sang to his lords and ladies,
Fighting at
but
your
none
side,
smiled.
just like the old
Not
days,
an eyebrow
before he
raised
died.
as the snivelling jester imitated the king, not even when he took the crown from his head. Because this was the day that Gadflo murdered the winter court. This was the day the Tuatha were born, and our people became a sacrifice for Tirnoch.
For centuries. We keep the world from being consumed by greed, by war, and by Tirnoch. The ancient beast must stay sealed away at any cost. The world must never realize the terrible power Tirnoch offers.
Since the alabaster wall was young, the beautiful bone-white forest was a place of peace and meditation. No piercing birdsong nor heated word could find its way between the branches. Quiet thought prevailed until Gadflo shattered our land. The Tuatha's crimson axes chopped the forest for arrow shafts, and Tirnoch's prismere spires rose up to consume what remained. Now our forest is shattered, and screams of warfare fill its boughs.
Ready to fall, mortal?
When Gadflo's army arose, we recognized Tirnoch's tainted influence. Only a force like her could warp eternal creatures like the Fae. So you came to infiltrate Alabastra, find Tirnoch, and seal her away forever. And you used Ventrinia to get in, under the guise of being his assistant.
Another gunflake of fire.
couldn't stop Tirnoch. She would use her pawns to fully escape her prison. And the world would be her new plaything. You had to try, even though the Fate Weavers said you were doomed. As always, the Fate Weavers were right.
The greatest heroes of winter have always fallen from the Bale's pale bows, from Pietra the Keen to Hulgan the Hungry. When the Tuatha claimed dominance over us, heroes arose to defend winter. Gadflow laughed at their challenge and called up Tirnoch's wrath. In a second, our most loyal heroes were impaled by Prismere spires. Our heroes were gone, never to be
When
reborn,
I found you in Dalentarth,
and our people succumbed to
saw you had
Gadflow's
come back to
madness.
life, I wasn't sure how much you remembered. I couldn't be certain you would keep our secrets. I considered killing you then and there. Nothing personal. You would have done the same to me. But then I saw what you had become. I saw the new powers you wielded. And I saw how useful you could be. When I saw you could change fate, I knew you were our only choice. So I helped you continue your mission to stop Tirnoch, even if you had forgotten it. But over time, I realized you weren't the same woman you were when you died. You were more. You were better than the heartless commander I had known.
And so, instead of an arcane age, Gadflow would have an endless winter. Not the winter of the Fae, but of Tirnoch's making. Gadflow has seen the visions of annihilation, of a blissful void across the world. It is not the will of Own, but against nature. The ageless decay of our people has become a weapon against yours. You, the Deathbringer and Siegebreaker, the usurper of fate and twice born, must become the Godslayer.
In happier times, the Winter Court would come here to bathe in the colours of the midnight gardens. Night violets and pale moonflowers blossomed on a field of bluest grass studded with frost. When stars aligned, the Aurora Borealis danced for the Queen herself. But now the Tuatha have crushed the gardens and planted only corpses. The fruit of their tortured garden is only blood red.
This is no time to dawdle. Lead on. I'm right behind you. Last time you came here, you were destined to die. This time, your destiny is up to you.
At long last, Gadflow has crushed the Winter Fae, and his Tuatha rules us utterly. No longer are we reborn into this world, unless his god Tirnoch wills it so. This monster has crushed us, and our kind shall pass from this world. But our memories might yet last. When Gadflow is gone, and his god is left for another people to ravage, I may be freed from my tomb, and then I may share what dreams we made. It is the only immortality any of us may hope for now.
Now we have a chance to finally complete our mission. Let's put an end to Gadflow before his bargain frees Tirnoch on the world. This must have been a lot for you to take in at once, but I need you to be clear on who you are and what you need to do. A lot has changed since you were here last. It isn't going to be as easy this time, and last time it killed you. Oh, she's a creature with incredible power. A dragon, but she is no simple lizard in some child's tale. She has a power rivaled only by the gods. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Alpha sealed her in the Amethyst between this world and the world of magic. And there she went mad. As her prison weakened over time, she was able to tempt Gadflow into helping her gain enough power to break free. And if she escapes fully, it will mean the end of all mortal life. Tirnoch's revenge for tens of thousands of years of imprisonment. That's why people like you and I have dedicated our lives to keeping Tirnoch's secret from the world. We were supposed to keep Tirnoch hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him and seal Tirnoch away once more, even though you were fated to fail. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. I don't know if you plan to be resurrected, but knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised. If you only think you're ready, then you're not the same cocky bastard that I used to work with. Just make sure you do the job right this time. You can't count on having a third life. And it'd be a shame to lose the woman you've become. Ha! I have more important things to do than love. And so do you. But I do trust you with the fate of my world. It may not set your heart aflutter to hear it, but it'll have to do. Lead on. I'm right behind you. This is no time to dawdle. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
You don't understand, do you? Yes! Return to your grave! Crumble, child of dust! Tirnoch, lend me your power! Crumble, child of dust! Tirnoch, lend me your power! Crumble, child of dust!
An illusion. Something's not right. If Gadflow isn't here, then he must be hiding further underground, someplace closer to the source of the Prismere. You needn't try to impress me, you know. Not anymore. Besides, we don't have time. Whatever bargain Gadflow made with Tirnoch, it's about to pay off. And when that happens, the world will suffer her wrath. In the heart of Alabastra is the former unseelie city of Baal. Beneath the Winter King's court, there is the cave of Amethin. It's a place of tremendous power. It is where Tirnoch is imprisoned, and where you died. We were two of the people who were supposed to keep Tirnoch hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. She's imprisoned deep in the Amethin, but Gadflow's war has weakened her bonds. There's no time to spare. If she gets free, our world is lost. Let's go. Tirnoch is held captive deep in the Amethin, but her prison is weakening by the moment.
I feel you here again, full of life, full of fate. What have you brought for me?
I can feel Tirnoch's eyes upon us. Tirnoch awakens. We need to move. Let's go.
You've used your power well. So much potential. Let's have a taste, shall we?
She just tore out a part of the fates you've stolen and turned it against you. Perhaps it is not inaccurate to think of her as a god.
I have been imprisoned here since before your kind emerged from the dark. But now, my freedom draws near.
We cannot let Gadflow free Tirnoch.
Godflow's prayers weakened this prison, but he is not the one who will set me free.
Don't listen. You're the only one who has the power to stop her. Tirnoch awakens. We need to move. Tirnoch's power is immense. She just tore off a splinter of what you could have been and turned it against you. When she killed you, that much power must have torn you free of the entire tapestry of fate. This way.
When you first came to me, death was your only fate, but I knew better this way. And you were so eager to play your role.
You chose this? What does she mean by that?
I gave you freedom, and now you have returned to grant me mine.
Only you have the power to reseal Tirnoch inside the Amathen. I must keep the secret of her existence from the world. Once Tirnoch is pushed back into her prison, these caverns must be sealed. But that leaves one question. Can I trust you to keep Tirnoch's secret? There are things in this world that must remain hidden. If the power of the dragons were widely known, well, you've seen what has happened here. Gadflow tapped a fraction of her power. He upset the great cycle of the Fae and waged a genocidal war on the young races. Just coming in contact with her power managed to free you from fate's bonds. And if you can turn that freedom against her, she will have no power over Amalur. Nothing like you has ever existed before. As always, there's no way of knowing your future. If you're victorious, it may be the last time you change the fate of the world. Even if you fall back into fate's weave once her influence is gone from this world, it will be a far better fate than what Tirnoch's emergence would bring. That is excellent. After all that you've done, it would have been a shame for you to die a second time. If you do escape, I will be watching you. And know this, anyone who learns the truth of what happens here, I will silence myself. Go. Stop Tirnoch from fully entering this world. But remember, my blades will always be at your back. Nothing in the world is fated to stop Tirnoch. That's why you're the only one who has a chance. I'm just here to make sure you take it. This way. There's no turning back now. This is a time for action, not words. Let's go.
Come, Fate Weaver. Bring me your power. Sacrifice yourself and seal the fate of your world.
It's time to choose your fate. Amethyst lies beyond. This is where the dragon will breach the veil.
Come forward, mortals. Behold the birth of Tirnoch. Attend your final hour.
My fate does not lie beyond those doors. You alone may change what is to come. Go!
Ah, yes. Welcome back, mortal. How does it feel, I wonder, to return to this place? Does the pain of your death still linger? Can you feel it echo through the air? And now, in this place, you shall witness the birth of Tirnoch, the destruction of the Alpha, and the dawn of the endless winter. He comes. Tirnoch the powerful, Tirnoch the merciful. Qualla fella Tirnoch. Qualla sera Tirnoch! Tirnoch? Have I done well, lady? Are you pleased? Is it that
You have served your purpose.
But I have so much more to give.
Come closer. Give yourself to me. Yes! Struggle! Fight! And die just as you did before! So much pain, so much power, all to free me! You are nothing but dust. Why won't you die? Impossible! Impossible!
How could we have known that this would be a new beginning? I wonder now if we should have foreseen this outcome, but who knew then what fate would bring? I would have liked to have delivered this message in person, to see you one final time. That, however, would have been complicated. The order to which I belong had other plans. Were you ever to leave the crystalline fortress? When it comes to you, though, it seems no fate is written in stone. It was only through my assurances that your silence could be counted upon that either one of us still draws breath. I trust you will not make of me a liar. Were stories of what we have seen to begin to surface in the inns and taverns of Amalur, I would be asked to seek you out. And as we both know, the next time you die, there will be no return. But let us not speak of this. Your life is your own. Go now, and see what fate may bring you, or what fate you may bring. Perhaps one day in happier times, you and I will meet again. Until that day, I remain yours, Aelin Sher.
Well, well, awake at last. You gave us quite a scare. But you're here and the war's all but over. So who are we to complain? I was hoping you could tell us. Sidon and I were fighting a few remaining stragglers when all of a sudden they started this unholy wailing. I guess you must have killed Gadflow, because the Tuatha started screaming and ran away. There are still a few diehards, but they don't have the fire in them, you know? Wasn't much longer before Aelin showed up carrying you over her shoulder. Told me to watch over you, make sure you were okay. She left some kind of note for you, but I know better than to read a private message from the likes of her. There are still Tuatha who refuse to surrender, but yes, the war is ended. You should have seen the parade in Rathir. As for what's next, well, that's a tough question. See, a lot of the soldiers asked me for readings after the fighting ended, and try as I might, I can't see a fate for any of us. Good? Perhaps. Freedom is a blessing, and a curse. If fate truly no longer holds sway over us, only time will tell if it is for good or ill. But regardless of what happens, Amalur and its people remain because of you. And no matter where your path leads, never forget, a person is defined by his actions. Who you are is up to you, and you alone. Go, my friend. Enjoy this world and all of its splendors. You've earned it. Anything for you. I've been a lot of things in my life. A hero and a heartbreaker, a fate weaver and a failure. All at the cruel hands of fate. Until you came along, I never had a choice in what I was. Thank you for that. First she works with us, then she betrays us, then she saves your life. I admit I don't know what to make of that woman, but I feel like we owe her. Not that I'd know how to find her, or pay her back for that matter. I've heard legends about it, but supposedly it's a deep cave beneath Bale, either for the Winter King's meditation, or where they emerge after they die. Last I saw him, Sidon was mourning at the House of Sorrows. I can't imagine what his people are going through. If you see him, give him my regards. The Winter Fae were a decent people. They didn't deserve what Gadflow did to them. There are still plenty of Tuatha, but without Gadflow to give them the word of Tirnoch, they've gone mad. So the gnarled madman didn't make it out of Alabastra? I can't say I'm choked up over the loss. You've all but ended the war, and you've surely changed its destiny. Every mortal in the Feylands owes you thanks. Sure, there are still Tuatha left here and there, but they've got no leader, and they don't pose half the threat they used to. Whatever you did to him, Gadflow is truly dead and gone. Sidon says he won't be reborn, although I don't know how he can be so sure. Well, ever since you came back from Alabastra, I cannot read a place in the Weave for anyone. Whatever you did, it didn't just win the war. It's given us all a chance to make our own destinies.
Good morning, ma'am. Good to see you up and out of your quarters. This here is the lower hall of the Orbicant. The Council has granted this rare honor in light of all you've done for us, for all of Alfar kind. They have also allowed me to offer you access to the Reserve Armory, if you would care to have a look. Ah, yes, it was she who brought you here, you know. Stood by your bed for almost a day, then left suddenly on urgent business. But that has always been her way. I can't show you the upper halls or the council chambers, I'm afraid. But you are welcome here in the lower hall, and it is my special pleasure to offer you access to the reserve armory. The quarters you slept in where you recovered were once assigned to the late General Talera. They are yours now, should you ever wish to use them. Rare weapons and so forth, procured for Rathir's leaders and defenders. They must still, be paid for, I'm afraid. But please, have a look for yourself. I do hope your stay has been restorative.
There was cheering in the streets when the news came home. You should have seen it. There was You're in the lower hall now. No access to the upper halls.
I don't believe my eyes.
The champion of Melsenshire. How may I help you? I am the Elund, Morphan Karth, and the voice of the Orbakant. Within this city, my word is law. You risked everything for our sister city. It was foolish, irresponsible, and exactly what was needed. Thank you. Many of the refugees have been at Rathir for so long that it is the only home they truly have. But with Melsenshire liberated, some of them can finally return home. Go with our city's blessing.